Hi, I'm Jeff Stokes. Welcome to Jeff's Daily Dose of Encouragement. Today I want to encourage you to be like Noah. Now, from the story of Noah in Genesis chapter 6, where, well, actually just at the end of chapter 5 it says, and Noah was 500 years old, and Noah begat Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And then we go into the story whereby the earth was so full of evil that God wanted to destroy it. And then God comes to Noah, and it says in verse 13 of chapter 6, and God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them, and behold, I will destroy them with the earth. And verse 14 says, make thee an ark of gopher wood, rooms should he make in the ark, and shall pitch it within and without with pitch, etc., etc., and tells him the specifications of the ark. And over in verse 22, at the end of chapter 6, it says, thus did Noah, according to all that God commanded him, so did he. And further down you'll find that Noah, by the time the ark was built, was 600 years old. So in 100 years, the whole of society went right downhill that bad that it was really violent. And then one man, as it says back there, Noah found grace in the eyes of God. One man. And then God comes out of the blue and tells him to build an ark. There's no rain. He's in a sort of desert place. It doesn't make any logical sense. And that's what we need to be able to do, is sometimes God will tell us to do something. You know, I don't know if you've ever had this, if you had an impression on your heart to go and do something and you don't know why, but you just got to go and do it. And then when you do, you find out God's purpose and plan at the end of it. Now, this thing for Noah, this is huge. I mean, the ark was huge. The time span that he had to do it over was quite long. And yet he just knew that he had to keep going, even though it didn't make any sense. God had somehow said that he was going to do something, and Noah had to just go with it. And we're the same in a way. We can't see the end from the beginning, so to speak, but God's put things in our hearts that may not make sense, or we can't see the end of it, or we can't see the purpose in it, or it's just not logical. But God, we know that God is telling us to do it. And so in that sense, we need to be like Noah. And eventually, just like the ark was God's salvation plan for Noah and his family and all the animals so that he could start again, so with us, Jesus Christ is God's plan to save humanity and start all over again with a new heavens and a new earth and things like that, so that righteousness only can dwell there. If you don't know the Lord Jesus Christ, if you confess with your mouth the Lord Jesus and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For whosoever shall confess that Jesus is the Son of God, God dwells in him, and he in God. So, God bless you, and have a wonderful day.